good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good day to all of you. Welcome back to the PSN Commanders Network. It's your boy Tony, A Tech, and I'm back with another video if I can talk over to God. For God's right now, God's over doors and people for all the people in the Lord's name, great man. Today we're here to wrap up the Washington Commanders, Redskins football team, where you want to call them, and we're back with another video. And today I'm a little late on this, so I do apologize. But I do want to talk about, I did talk about him before on the channel. Sometime about a year and a half ago, there was some trade rumors about this guy. I talked about him on the channel, and we should trade for him. He came off an 18 touchdown season, and dude was an absolute dog. He was just wrecking. He was wrecking everything. Now, a year later, a down year for this guy, around 20 years of age, and a guy that's very interesting in the free agent market. We're going to talk about Austin Ekeler today. And would you sign Austin Ekeler? His spot track value, his career stats, last year's statistics, and game log. We'll talk about all that today in today's video. And then we'll talk about would you sign him? And how much would you pay him if you did? So let's get right into it. So, as I already said, Austin Ekeler is 20 years of age, almost 29. So he'll be 29 when the season starts. Undrafted free agent in 2017 from Western State, Colorado. He has had a heck of a year, a heck of a career so far, in my opinion. Austin Ekeler, for an undrafted free agent, has been really good. Austin Ekeler's been very, very good in his career. Very, very good. And I think it's hard to get him out that Charger baby blue and yellow, man. I think it's been kind of hard. I don't see a way this guy's not in Chargers colors next year, except for the money's too much. But let's look at his game log from this past year. His debut was good. 2023 debut, 16 carries, 117 yards, 7.3 yards per tote, a touchdown, and 4 receptions in the ball game as well. Down game versus the Dallas Cowboys, 14 carries for 27 yards. That's terrible. 14 for 45 versus the Chiefs. Chiefs has a really good defense as well. Chicago, 15 for 29. That's terrible. 14 for 47 versus the New York Jets. That's not good. 19 for 67 versus the Detroit Lions and 4 catches and a touchdown catch. But also, he had 2 touchdowns versus the Jets as well. So keep that in mind. 10 for 64 versus the Packers. 2 receptions. Pretty good. 10 for 32 versus the Ravens. Not too hot. 14 carries for 18 yards versus the Patriots. Ouch. 10-51 versus the Broncos. 5 catches in the game as well, so 15 touches for him in that game. 5 for 9 versus the Vegas Raiders. That was the blowout game when they got destroyed 1,000,000-0. So I'm gonna kind of let that one slide. 15 for 65 versus the Buffalo Bills and 3 receptions as well in that game. 14 for 46 versus the Denver Broncos. And that's not too high. That's not terrible. It's not absolutely horrible, but it's not good. And then his final game of the season, 10 carries for 11 yards versus the Kansas City Chiefs in January 7th in Week 18. Also had 7 receptions in said game. So overall, 179 carries for 628 yards, 3.5 yards per tote, and 5 touchdowns for one Austin Ekeler last year compared to 204 carries for 9 and 15 yards for 13 touchdowns in 2022. So 300 yards less. 25 less carries, 8 less touchdowns. That's a huge drop off. That's a huge drop off. I can't lie to you. I'm not a big fan of that. He's 28 years old too. So keep that in mind. But I will say with Austin Ekeler though, the Los Angeles Chargers offensive line did not do him favors this year. If you watched it all 22s, the holes were not there that they were in 2022 for one Austin Ekeler. Also, he compiled another 51 catches for 436 yards and 1 touchdown. So overall, 1,000 yard for scrimmage season. A lot less than what he did in 2022 with a total of 1,600 yards. So a lot lower on the yardage side. Total touchdowns, he had 6 this year. He had 18 last year. That's crazy. A little worried if you're a fan of Austin Ekeler, is he going to fall off or not? That's been you kind of really kind of concerned about if you're Austin. And if you're a team that's picking him up, like if you're a team like the Washington Commanders that might be looking at him, a little older than Antonio Gibson too. So you want to get older the running back position, or you want to get younger, right? So I think he's a beautiful change of pace back to Antonio Gibson. Uh, and I think he will work well in Cliff Kingsbury's offense. Spot track value has a $7.5 million per year. I think it's a little too steep for my eyes. If Austin Ekeler would take $4 million per season, I would take Austin Ekeler. If we take 4, I would sign Austin Ekeler. I would in a heartbeat. Dude's a dog. When everything is going right, Austin Ekeler is a really good running back. So I think he's a nice compliment to Brian Robinson. That's something he didn't have in LA. Joshua Kelly's cool. The other guys, Justin Jackson, guys like they were okay, but B-Rob, man, those two could be a nice 1-2 punch. It's like him and Antonio Gibson were. Let's compare to him and Antonio Gibson statistics real quick too, because that's the guy I'm comparing him to, because that's the guy we had in house last year, and I think his spot track value won't not be as high as a guy like Austin Ekeler. And a little younger too. Antonio Gibson's 25 years of age. We're looking at market value for Antonio Gibson, 3.6 per. I actually probably prefer to keep Antonio Gibson. That's 4 more less per season when it comes to spot track value. And I just think I know that a guy like Eugene shit doesn't play running backs like that. But Adam Peters did when he traded for Christian McCaffrey. That might be an exception to the rule too. So let's see what Antonio Gibson did last year. So running wise, it wasn't too high yardage wise, but he only had 65 carries. Keep that in mind. Only 65 carries. Unlike the 180 that Austin Ekeler had. So 65 receptions for 265 yards. Not hot numbers. 4.4 yards, 4.1 yards per carry. That's solid. 1 rushing touchdown. Not bad. The year before, he had 150 carries, 546 yards, so 3.7 yards per tote. But he did have 3 touchdowns. Don't forget, this is only 2.5 years ago. A long time ago in a lot of people's eyes. But he had 258 carries, 1,037 yards, 4.0 yards per tote, and 7 TDs. But he had 6 fumbles. So that hurt him a lot in DC, man. And but that cheap of a deal, I can't see us not retaining Antonio Gibson now. If it's that low, I think he'll be here next year. I don't see a way he would not be here next year. Over a guy like Austin Ekeler, if given the opportunity. Also, he had 48 catches for 389 yards and 2 touchdowns too. So that Gibson's very dynamic at 6'2", 220 pounds. I think he could probably shed about 10 pounds off his frame, get a little bit more skinnier, and get a little bit more explosive, I think, in my eyes as well. And I think he's a guy that we probably should retain. So I think I'm gonna give a hard pass on Austin Ekeler. I do like him as a football player, though. I think the Chargers should re-sign him. I don't think they should let him walk. I think that'd be kind of stupid. But they're in a very tight cap situation. So I don't know if they're able to retain Austin Ekeler. But I think a perfect fit for him is Washington. If Gibson gets a raise somewhere else, like Kansas City or something like that, the team with Isaiah Pacheco, I think the Chiefs are a great fit for Austin Ekeler. A little younger than Jarrett McKinnon. Might be around the same age, actually, but show a lot more potential than Jarrett McKinnon. I think him and Pacheco will be a disgusting duo. Just disgusting. Disgusting. Oh, my gosh. That'd be nasty. That would be trouble for some defenses, man. Can't lie. Can't lie. Another good fit, I think, for Austin Ekeler as well, one of the receiving talents, would be another AFC team. I like this one a lot more than the Chiefs, only because they were trying to get a guy like J.D. McKissick a couple years ago, and they failed to do so. But I think they can make up for it this time with even a better back. The Buffalo Bills is another team I'll be looking at to pick up Austin Ekeler to just get an extra weapon. I know they have Dawson Knox. I know they have Dalton Kincaid. I know they have SD. I know that Gabe Davis is a free agent, though. So you might be losing Gabriel Davis this offseason. Might want to bolster that running back room a little bit more. Even maybe draft a Keon Coleman or something. So that's what do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe. Pass on Austin Ekeler because of the money and the age. If this was 2 years ago, I've been all in on Austin because he's been 26 years of age, still got plenty of dog left in him. I would have loved it. Now I'm a little soured on it, but what are your thoughts on Austin Ekeler? Would you sign him? If you did, how much would you pay him? If he's not, if it's a $400,000 difference between him and Antonio Gibson, I would take Austin Ekeler. But if it's a $3-4 million difference, I'm taking Antonio Gibson. So, guys, be easy, be safe, stay healthy. Now, catch y'all.